Hey there, Wall Street winners. It is Tuesday, March 19th, and we're looking at a day pre-market that is starting off with primarily red on the screen. NASDAQ futures are down 137 points at the moment. It's 8:43 Eastern Time. And as we scroll through our catalog of stocks that we follow, I'm going to make my way down to oils first and stop there. We can see that right now crude is up just 4 cents, but it is up. It's almost $83, 82.76. And crude has had a good run. So we're seeing some red pre-market on the screen for a number of the crude stocks. Again, there's opportunity in here. I'm not invested in oil at the moment because I feel like it's had a good run and it could be near the peak of that run. So I'm just kind of taking a wait and see attitude to see what will happen. And I think there's more volatility and opportunity within tech. So if we move down to tech, yesterday was a bit of a rebound day. Today looks like we're starting off in the red, and we're going to see whether or not it pulls back up and goes into the green before the end of the day. But it looks like we're going to start in the red with the futures down over 100 points right now. Even the S&P futures, the 500 futures are down, as so is the Dow futures. So it looks like we're kind of red across the board. There is some data coming out today. There's some more data. I think it's housing build permits out of the US today. And then tomorrow is a Fed rate decision coming out at 2 p.m. So the market's kind of waiting for that in a way, just to react on that. NVIDIA had some announcements yesterday. I don't think they were really in line with what a lot of people were looking for. I'm not saying they were bad. I just don't think they're fully understood at this point, and that's a bit of a drag on NVIDIA this morning. So what we can see is we've got potential buying opportunities. Honestly, I mean, things are on sale when they're in the red, so it's a good day to be buying as opposed to on green days. And if you're following a stock that has taken a specific downturn, now might be a good time to get into it. So again, I mentioned the other day that AMD isn't the darling of Wall Street's and investors, but it is a good company. It makes a good product. It's in the AI sector, and it's down 750 pre-market. So it's, if we take a look at just the 1 month, it has been up to 224 or in that range, but probably kind of around the 210 range, 212 range. It has potential to come back to that if it has good earnings going forward. It's in a strong position with chip refreshes in laptop computers and desktop computers used by people who went from working in the office to working at home. There is a refresh cycle in computers coming, and it's participating in AI. So there could be some good long-term outcomes with this. But even in the short term, I mean, if it drops, I wouldn't buy in at -7. I'd wait to see whether that's the bottom and try to figure out where that bottom is, and not buy going into the bottom, but try to buy as it rebounds and starts to make its way back up. And it may not come back up today, but there's an opportunity for it in the next day or two to come back up into the 190s or close to that. If we move back down or continue moving down, Workday is one of my favorites these days. It climbed up as high as almost 73 yesterday, and now it's down about 2.5. I think this is an interesting play. Not as much volatility in this one. You can see some of the other semiconductor stocks like Lam Research here, LRCX. It's off $8 and change today. We've got Broadcom, again, off about $22 going into the day. Oracle down slightly. I think Oracle's still overpriced, even though it had some good earnings coming out of its last report last week. Amazon's been fluctuating in the 170 range. There's not a lot of movement in this stock, to be honest. Tesla got a bump yesterday because I believe Rivian or one of the other EV manufacturers said it was going to start to use its charging stations. I really like Meta. Meta had a great day yesterday. It was down at 484 at open and closed at 496, so at almost $13 gain. It's off close to $6 today, taking it potentially below the 490 mark. If it gets back into the 480s, I think that's an attractive purchase because I think it has a lot of potential. And no one's really talking about Meta right now. It's just doing things almost under the radar. I mean, it's always in the news. There's always lawsuits against Meta, but it's generating a ton of cash flow and it's staying out of the news media while it does that, which in its case typically bodes well for the company. And then as we scroll down further, we've got NVIDIA off about $24 going into the market. I think that's a little beyond what it will end at today. So we'll have to see, but I'm going to watch NVIDIA at open and see whether it drops. It may drop down as much as $35 between 9:30 and 9:45, but I do believe that there will be a bit of a rebound there because people will jump in and buy that dip and it will pull that stock back up. I don't know whether it'll pull it back up to 884 or above 884 this morning or today, but I do believe that when it does sell off, there are buyers that want to jump in and get that. So I think it will rebound. And Google had a great day yesterday on news of sharing its AI engine Gemini with Apple. So we saw it spike up almost as much as $10 or $11, got up to, I think, 152. It finished at 148 and a half. It's up a little bit pre-market. I think this one may come down a little bit and then go back up. So we'll have to watch that. It may do the exact opposite. I have no idea, but I'm going to be watching Google. I do believe that it's got a lot of potential going forward. And then Adobe had a great day yesterday. It did take that dead cat bounce that I talked about the other day. It came off of its 491, 492 result on Friday. It corrected a little bit, $21 gain, phenomenal gain of and now we're looking at a $4 drop. So I think it's going to come back a little bit, but it's going to continue to move forward. So wait for it to pull back a little, and then there may be an opportunity to get in on the upward momentum that Adobe is going to have. Or is likely to have. And then if we get into financials are really waiting on tomorrow's rate decision. So again, I'm not doing very much here. I don't expect we're going to get a Fed cut announced tomorrow. The big concern about what the Fed and Jerome Powell is going to say tomorrow is that they're going to delay rate cuts even further due to recent news coming out that makes it look like inflation's not going down as fast as it could. So that's the big concern, and that could bring down an announcement like that has the potential to affect the whole market. So you want to be cautious around those things. It definitely has the ability to impact the financials, and so I'm staying clear of those at the moment. So that is March 19th. I hope you do great in your trades today and wish you all the best. If you like what we're doing here, subscribe to the channel.